The following is sponsored by Virtua. Virtua supports local sports.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining us here on episode 19 of the South Jersey Sports Digest Show. I'm Mike Shute, the lead content editor of South Jersey Sports Digest, coming to you back here in the studios of Sterling High School Channel 19. And we're glad you could join us again for another edition of our show. Thank you for watching us on Comcast Cable Channel 97 in Gloucester County, which of course is the Gloucester County Education Network, as well as TV 19 in Western Camden County, including Haddon Township, Haddon Heights, Audubon, Oakland, Haddonfield, Barrington, and Lawnside. You can see the show on those two channels Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m., as well as anytime on the web at our website, www.sjsportsdigest.com. Our guest today is Matt Sheehan, the athletic director here at Sterling High School. We'll talk to him in just a moment or two. But first, a couple of other bits of news and items for you. I want to remind you that South Jersey Sports Digest has launched its brand new app. It's free at your app store. And with the arrival of the 2015 calendar year, we released this, our next step in our sports coverage, one that's sure to bring a heightened awareness of the teams and athletes you love to follow. Our awesome new mobile app is ready and available to download free of charge on all smartphones. Simply go to your app store and search for South Jersey Sports Digest. You'll see the app and the SJSD logo, and here's some of it in action. Download the app and immediately search for your favorite teams. Once you add your favorite teams, you'll see all the great features this app has to offer, from schedules and results to rosters and photos. It's all at your fingertips. You want to know where your team ranks in its conference standings? You can find the standings on our app as well. The app ties directly into our easy-to-navigate website, so all the data on the site automatically feeds the mobile app. In the settings feature, you can select push notifications and alert you every time there's a change to any of your team's pages. So if there's a new score, new news, a new photo gallery, you can see it and you'll be notified immediately through the push notifications. You can track as many teams as you want and stay up to date and up to the minute with every single one of those teams. And as we add content to our site about your team, you'll be the first to know. If you're interested, coaches, athletic directors, in helping keep your team's info up to date, contact us and you can be a content provider for your team and help keep the team's achievements active and up to date on the app. So that's the latest news on our mobile app on your smartphone. So feel free, download it, free at the App Store, check it out, and we've had a lot of success with it so far in the early going, just the first couple of weeks, and it's going very well. So join the wave and jump in on the sports coverage and find out what's going on with your favorite teams. Now to some South Jersey sports news, and this happened a week or so ago, but we have to recognize the accomplishment of one of the area's most legendary wrestling people, and that's Paulsboro head coach Paul Morina, who collected the 600th coaching victory of his career. That happened back on Monday, January 13th, as the Red Raiders dominated Overbrook. That match was at Overbrook High School, and Paul Morina, there you see him with the victory. And Coach Morina, a couple of his sons actually on the team as well, getting victories in that match. So congratulations to Paul Morina, the Paulsboro head coach in wrestling, as he picks up win number 600 for a team now that has well over 1,000 victories in program history. And Coach Morina, more than half of them, so congratulations on that rare achievement. One of just 3 coaches in wrestling in South Jersey to collect 600 or more victories. So congratulations again to Paul Morina. There's a great photo gallery on our website with about 60, 70 photographs from that match. So be sure to check it out and log on to our website and look for those great pictures. A lot of great stuff. That was just a few taken by one of our photographers that night. Now it's time to reveal our Total Turf Athletes of the Week. And we were not on the air last week, so we'll have 2 boys athletes of the week, 2 girls athletes of the week as well. We'll start out with Acosta Kittles III, a junior basketball player at Glassboro High School, 6'5" forward, averaged nearly 25 points per game in 3 games last week, and he's averaging a double-double on the season. He is the nephew of former Villanova star and NBA player Kerry Kittles. His dad, Acosta Kittles Jr., also played at Gloucester County College in the mid-1990s. And again, Acosta Kittles III, averaging a double-double this season at over 20 points per game and 10 rebounds per game. Our second Total Turf male athlete of the week is Pat Darcy, senior wrestler at Holy Spirit. He became the school's all-time wins leader on Saturday, January 10th, when he recorded his 130th career victory. A resident of Galloway Township, Pat is a two-time state place winner and has committed to attend college at Princeton University. By the way, the previous record holder for career wins at Holy Spirit was former state champion Mac Mancuso, who went on to wrestle collegiately at West Virginia. So congratulations to Darcy for the career victories mark at Holy Spirit High School. And our Total Turf Experience female athletes of the week, starting out with Woodrow Wilson senior guard Ly'ayshia Stevens. Last week in victories over Camden and Bishop Eustace, she averaged over 30 points per game in those two wins, including a 32-point effort in a 66-52 win over Bishop Eustace. Of course, Woodrow Wilson got to the Tournament of Champions last year, finishing in the semifinals. So they hope to try and repeat that success, and Stevens is on her way to try and help her team do that. Our second pick for female athlete of the week is not just one person, but four people. The Deptford High School girls 4x200 team set a meet record while participating in the New Jersey State Relay Indoor Track and Field meet last weekend. The girls' time of 1:44.75 was nearly a full second under the previous meet record that was set back in 2009 by Hopewell Valley. The team consists of Sundasia Baker, Taylor Ransom, Maia Kelly Miller, and Kiara Lester. The girls own the fastest time in by a New Jersey team also this year. They did not do it at that meet, but they do have the fastest time by a New Jersey team in the 4x200 at 1:43.30. It's also the 14th fastest time in the nation this season. So congratulations to the Deptford girls indoor track 4x200 relay team as they are putting up some big numbers this season in indoor track. Keep your eye on them as the state championships approach in the next couple of weeks as well. And from one regular feature on our show to to our first guest of the show, we've got Matt Sheehan here, the athletic director of Sterling High School. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today on what is, I'm sure, a busy day for you.
It sure is. It almost feels like home here. And as we're taping this, we're getting some snow, so it's a very busy day. But you know, we've managed some time in here to meet with you.
And I think that's a pertinent topic to start out with, Matt, because that is got to be among the many challenges that your job brings to the table. A day like today where there's snow in the forecast and it's not at the beginning of the day, so it's coming midday, late in the day. How do you handle juggling events, you know, and things along those lines? I'm sure there's got to be a lot of coordination, not just among between you and your coaches, but amongst the athletic directors, in this case, the Colonial Conference as well.
For sure. This almost gets me ready for the spring season. But you said the worst time is at 1:30, 2 o'clock when the buses are warmed up and the referees are getting ready to attend the field. So you kind of have three things you go by. You go by your school policy, and sometimes your superintendent or principal can mandate, hey, we're going to cancel all things today. Secondly, you go to your athletic directors, and you can kind of share ideas about what other schools are doing. Sometimes you can move some events up. Sometimes you would agree to cancel. And then third would be, if the state decides to step in and say, state of emergency, we're going to cancel all games today, and they may give you an allowance for like a 4-game week somewhere later in the season. So a lot of things going on, and you really have to, communicate well with your fellow schools and also your coaches and your building as well. I mean, you got to let your maintenance people know who's coming in, who's not, and then you got to contact officials and bus companies and things of that nature. So very busy, but it's challenging and it's doable.
Matt, I know you went to school here. You graduated here in 1987 from Sterling High School. What's it like to come back and work in the building that you basically grew up in, and then to come back and be now a leader, a person that in the role of a person probably that you may have looked up to when you were at school here?
You know, I probably would have never imagined it as a kid who was going to Sterling High School. I was a fan of Sterling with all my brothers playing sports here. Obviously played some sports here myself and had a chance to get away through teaching and coaching for a few years, which I think coming back it made it more special. I think if I stepped in right away and was a Sterling teacher and a coach at the age of 22, 23, maybe it wouldn't have meant as much to me as it does now. But like I said, being away, seeing the impact that like a Bill Hiltner or Bill Stout, Jim Combs, Bill Ulrich, some of the great coaches at Sterling High School, and what they did for the athletes here, to have an opportunity to do those same types of things here is really important to me. We have some great coaches here who I know want to keep the tradition going of excellence and also give the kids a really good experience. So, as a coach, I can affect, 30, 40 kids in a program. As an AD, I can affect a lot more, and I kind of take that job seriously in terms of academics, scholar, athletics, and sportsmanship. It's very important to
me. You said you can affect a lot of people, and I think you probably even underestimate the amount of people that you guys, as athletic directors, can affect, because you guys, of course, set policy for what's going on in the school, but athletic directors also meet together in terms of conference meetings, state meetings, and you guys are setting policy and trying to get things on track that's going to benefit high school kids, not just in your school, but throughout the state, or in this case, the conference as well as the state.
Yeah, you know what? You try to set a bar of a level of play, of sportsmanship, of academics that really warrants a respect for kids that go out for high school sports. You know, we take our job seriously. We want to make sure that the kids, A, have a good experience, B, are setting a good example for their school and younger kids, and preparing them for whatever they're going to do once they graduate. So to me, that's an enjoyable part of the job, is trying to, you know, we'd be remiss if we weren't teaching kids while we're coaching them. So I think that's something, as an AD, I try to pass on to my coaches, and hopefully the coaches in turn pass it on to their players and also their parents, just to inform them about what the importance of high school athletics is all about.
Matt, I know we mentioned the weather and how that's you know, today, obviously with the snow in the forecast as we tape this show here on Wednesday. But that's one challenge of the job that we talked about. What's another big challenge for an athletic director? Obviously, being organized is an important thing, but what's some other things that you know, come to mind when you think about the difficulties of the job?
You know what? It's becoming more and more difficult to find coaches who are willing to go through the scrutiny of being a coach. It's not a lot of pay. You know, a lot of them don't do it for the pay, but you have to have a lot of requirements. You know, educational requirements. You have to have a concussion certification, heat acclimatization, principles of coaching, and it seems that these CPR, AED training, these responsibilities are becoming more and more onto coaches, and a lot of times they question, you know, is it worth doing it? And for the most part, they answer yes, but time and again, you might get a person saying, you know, I don't know if it's worth it. I'd rather go coach a town ball somewhere, or AAU or something like that. So the requirements on coaches and the responsibility of an AD to keep track of all that information is pretty daunting. And you know, I give coaches a lot of credit for doing that. Anybody that's on the sideline or watching on TV who thinks coaching high school athletics is very easy, you know, I would challenge you to look into the requirements that a person has to have in order to be a coach. And then at that, you strive to be a successful coach by being an expert in your particular sport. So that's one criteria that I have to be aware of as an AD is the coaching requirements.
Matt, one other thing I wanted to ask you, on a typical you know, game day, game night, it's Friday night, Sterling's hosting a football game here, or it's a Thursday night and you know, there's a big basketball game, maybe the Sterling girls are playing Haddonfield, you're getting a big crowd to this school. What is that day, what is that part of the day like for you? Because obviously you're coming in still at the same time, 8 a.m., but you might not get out of here until 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I know you didn't bring this up, but I am. And I know that you guys do work hard.
Contract negotiations, anybody hearing this?
I know that you guys do work hard though, and I don't think people realize what goes into that part of it, that organizing the game and being here for the game and supervising, and you know, you've got security, there's a lot of things that go on with that. Maybe you can talk about that.
Well, you know what, we do a schedule a year in advance, and then we do our officials about 6 months in advance. So all the stuff you do, prep work you do prior to that night, makes the night go a little bit easier. So you set your schedule up a year in advance, you send your schedule to the assigners, they give the officials, you can check that on a website. You set your security and your staffing up a couple months in advance of the season. So you put all those pieces into play, and then really all you have to worry about is make sure you have your bank ready, your tickets ready to sell, your security who's at all corners of the gyms, making sure people are enjoying themselves and having a good high school experience. And once the team show up and the officials show up, I pretty much did my job. So a lot of that pre-planning makes it very entertaining for me to be able to come out and watch coaches coach and players play. And that's what I think every AD would tell you the best part of their day is after school hours, because that's what we're really in it for. But that pre-planning is very important, and it gets pretty hectic, especially when you have a big venue and a big event. You don't want to run out of tickets. You know, Camden Haddonfield last year turned away people at the door. A couple years ago we were at Medford Tech where they had 250 people in a gym. So those are the challenges that you have on occasion. But again, they're good experiences to have as an athletic program. But definitely pre-planning is the key. And then also you get a lot of assist from your administration and oftentimes from your competitors. They'll send an administrator over sometimes to help you out to make sure it's a safe game and it's a well-played contest.
Matt, I guess finally another challenge that exists and something that is probably the hardest thing to control or eyeball is crowd control. You maybe a referee makes a bad call. That never really happens though. But you know, something happens during the course of a game where maybe a crowd member is out of control or doesn't deal with the situation in the right way. How do you handle that, and what's the best way to kind of get that message across that, like, you know, it's an important part for the kids to learn in that environment too?
Well, we do a few things, and again, it's all about pre-planning. We meet with the teams and we express to them our expectations. This year we have an initiative which is called Raise the Bar, Be a Sportsmanship Star, and it's a poster that's on the table when they come into our pay area. It's also on our wall, and it's just really expectations that we have for our spectators and also our athletes. And then there's a star they can sign, kind of like Wow Wow when they donate something. So right now we have about 200 stars up in our gym. Prior to the game, we read a pregame announcement about spectator expectations, and we have security there, and it's really a staff member who's, you know, saying hello to people, greeting people, but also giving them a friendly reminder. This is a high school athletic event, and you know, I always tell our spectators, our fans, let's make it about us. Let's not make it about the other team or the officials. Make it about us. Support our team, and don't bring any negative attention and energy to our team. Because when a parent disputes a call, I've never seen an official overturn it and say, hey, you know what, you're right, I'm going to make that change. What it does is it could upset our players and our coaches, and we don't want to have that happen. And you know, we won the Sportsmanship Award last year in the Colonial Conference, and I'm proud to say that. And it's the first time in 10 years we've won that. And I'd hate to ever see a spectator take away from what we're trying to do on a court or on a field because of their behavior. So we do some things proactively to try to encourage good sportsmanship, and if we have to give a friendly reminder, we'll do that. You don't want to get to a point where you have to eject somebody, but if that's the case, we have to do it. My job is to make sure that our team has a good experience, our opponent has a good experience, and that the officials are protected. And you know, any AD that doesn't do that isn't really doing their job. You know, that's endorsed from the NJSAA through the NIAAA, which is the National Federation for High School Sports. So it's paramount to high school athletics. Like I said, it's an experience that we want everyone to enjoy.
We want to thank Matt Sheehan for joining us, the athletic director here at Sterling High School, talking a little bit about his job and what it takes to run an athletic department at the high school level. Matt does a great job here at Sterling. We thank him for all his support and assistance over the course of since we've ramped up, and we also know that he's doing a great job here and helping to guide the Colonial Conference in the right direction. So we want to thank Matt for joining us here on South Jersey Sports Digest. Right now, we're going to take a look at one of our regular features that you can find on our website. It's our Virtua School of the Week. This week, it's Clearview High School. Check it out.
The following is sponsored by Virtua. Virtua supports local sports.
My name is Mike Vicenti. I'm the athletic director here at Clearview Regional High School. It's my third year, and we are a member of the Tri-County Conference. We have some kids that are dedicated athletes in their particular sports. I've seen it over the last couple of years, even before I became athletic director, but the kids are becoming more and more competitive, more and more strong desire. We have a great coaching staff. They're definitely committed to their specific sport, spending hours, pre-planning, practice, games. So, I definitely think it's a collective effort, collaborative effort.
Coaches are just full support all the time. Is just whenever something isn't going right, they always are right there to tell us how we can fix it. It's what I can do to bounce back and how I can make it a learning experience. And the coaches are right there to tell me what I did and how I can improve on it, things I can change, and that's really the biggest thing, is just learning from what I've been doing.
I think Clearview is a lot of things, and I think they really try to get, we're a well-rounded school, so we have really high, education standards, and we also have, multiple and, various clubs that you can all join, so, if you want a diverse education, you have, everything here. You can join clubs, you can participate in sports, and you can excel.
It starts with Mr. Vicente. He has a talk with you in the beginning of the year, and it's just, he wants you to do your best, and he sets high expectations for you, and then through that, the coaches, they'll motivate you to do well in school, because school comes first and everything. And then once you're succeeding in one thing, it kind of just transfers to everything else.
Most of my best friends I've met through sports, and Clearview has definitely created a real, I was saying, a real family environment with the teams. And then they also know that academics are also very important. So I can pursue a lot of different things and passions, and Clearview helps to make that work.
View Crew is just a club that usually comes out to the sports events. Anyone can jump in. They just say wear green and gold. Just make sure that a lot of people are there in the stands. They always want people cheering, and people always show up.
When our crowd's behind us, we're in front of everyone. It's
it's a great feeling. Everyone is enjoying the game. It's not like, it's such a better atmosphere to have.
We feed off of each other, and we just like seeing each other succeed.
Our crowd really supports the wrestling team. We usually get a big showing out, especially on their home side for our crowd, and I love it. Because it brings like a different kind of atmosphere to you wanting to win. It's great.
When your parents are there, it's, you know, I mean, it's nice to have your parents there. But then when your friends come, it gets like rowdy, and you just get like the energy level just goes up so much more, and like it's just, you get so much more pumped up, you have so much more fun, and as a result, usually we end up doing better no matter what the sport.
No, I just think that we have a very supportive network here, you know, not only with our teachers and our coaching, our administrators, the Board of Ed. There's been a lot of support in just my 3 years here. The athletic director prior to me, Greg Horton, definitely set a strong foundation, and I've just been able to kind of feed off of what he has laid. He was athletic director here for 12, 13 years, so he laid a great foundation for me, and you know, just everybody's excited about athletics at Clearview, and I think it's definitely a contributing factor from a lot of folks, just besides our players and our coaches.
So thanks for checking that out. Clearview, the School of the Week, brought to you by Virtua here on our website at www.sjsportsdigest.com. We want to thank Clearview Athletic Director Mike Vicente for his cooperation, and another great job by our South Jersey Sports Digest video guru, Kyle Miller. Now we'll talk a little soccer, and although soccer season's a bit of a faded memory, soccer was alive and kicking this past weekend at the National Soccer Coaches Association of America convention. They held their annual convention at the Pennsylvania Convention Center in Philadelphia this past week. Lots of South Jersey coaches, players, and soccer aficionados were on hand to check out the displays and coaching demonstrations. The Rowan University men's soccer team was on the demo floor, as were a couple of youth teams from the area. The U12 Renegades from Rage FC Premier Soccer Club in Franklinville was out there, and the U17 New Jersey Rush girls team from the Highland Soccer Club were out there. There you see Vineland native Jillian Lloyden. She's in the black shirt on the left. She's joined on her right by former Clearview and Rowan University goalkeeper Maria Doris, those two in the center there in the black shirts. Lloyden is a former member of the U.S. women's national team and owner of the Keeper Institute. She was on the demo floor teaching coaches techniques for developing goalkeepers. She was, and as I mentioned, she was also joined by her associate Maria Doris there, so there's the two of them. The NSCAA also recognized its All-Americans at both the high school and collegiate level, and South Jersey was represented by a couple of young men. Let's start with Lou Velati of Washington Township. Velati was an All-American. There you see him there in the center holding his certificate. His coach, Shane Snyder, to his right. The senior midfielder will be taking his game to college. He'll be playing at St. Joseph's University, and he was a All-American and got recognized at a luncheon on Saturday during the National Soccer Coach Association of America convention. Let's also talk about Tyler Miller, a 2011 Bishop Eustis graduate. He was also an All-American. He was the only player in Division I men's soccer. He plays at Northwestern University. There you see him in action there, making a diving save. And Miller, a four-year player at Northwestern University, the only player among Division I men's soccer players to earn All-American status as well as academic All-American status this season. He was a second-team All-American goalkeeper, and he was a first-team All-American, academic All-American goalkeeper. While that was going on, also at the convention, the MLS draft was being held, and Miller was taken in the second round of the MLS Super Draft by the Seattle Sounders, who actually traded a pick to move up in the draft to acquire Miller's services. So a great weekend for Tyler Miller from Bishop Eustis, as he was not only recognized for his All-American status as a collegiate soccer player, also gets drafted into the MLS. So South Jersey fans hoping to catch him on the MLS pitch soon. Perhaps you will. Miller is currently playing in Germany right now, working with a fourth division team in their minor league system, trying to work his way up over there before potentially coming back to the States to join the Seattle Sounders. That's going to do it for this edition of South Jersey Sports Digest. We want to thank our guest Matt Sheehan for joining us. We want to thank you for watching. Don't forget about our SJSD app. You can find that on the App Store. And again, we want to thank you for watching. And don't forget to visit our site. Lots of great stories. There's going to be a few stories about some of those soccer items we mentioned there that we wrapped up with as SJSD was at the NSCAA convention last week. We also will have some other great stories coming up. Delsey Paulsboro Wrestling taking place Friday night this week. We'll have some coverage of that, as well as swimming this weekend. There's some championships being held at GCIT, and we'll be out there for that as well. So look for that and much more on our website, www.sjsportsdigest.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike Shute. Bye-bye.
The proceeding was sponsored by Virtua. To learn more about Virtua Sports Medicine, go to virtua.org/sports medicine. To schedule an appointment, you can speak to a personal navigator at 1-844-678-7001.